It is official. We are going to Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. I have been so excited to make this video, and I feel like I've been counting down for over a year. Like, it really has been such a long time, and it's finally here, and I could not be more blessed and excited to share this trip with you. Before we even get started on this video, I don't think I could do a Disney announcement without these items right by my side here. Give me 1 second. I don't think it would be right to do this video without some magical ears and also some magical guests that are joining us too. Master Mickey, he's coming to join us. Unfortunately, Master Mickey cannot make it on the aeroplane with us this time to come on our trip, but we are going to tell him all about it when we get back home. But he's going to join us for the very exciting announcement. And also to join Master Mickey, we have got little mini Mickey who will be joining us on our trip because he is small and tiny to take with us. So he's going to come on our little magical trip for his very first time. But yeah, he's going to join us for the little announcement today because we are going to Walt Disney World. Okay, where are you going to sit, Master Mickey? I think maybe up here somewhere? What do you think? Is that too far? Can you balance on here? There we go. Good placement? Yeah? Perfect. Now, this particular trip is going to be really special and so nostalgic in so many ways because we are going to Walt Disney World with my family. So it'll be me and my partner Tim, my mum, my dad and my younger brother. And it really is going to be so nostalgic because in my childhood, I was really blessed to have visited Walt Disney World a few times. So to be able to revisit that place as an adult through a completely different perspective is going to be like stepping right back into my childhood, and it's just going to be so special. Also as well, Tim has never been to Walt Disney World, so this will be his very first trip in the Disney parks. He did visit the Universal parks back in the day when he was a teen, but it will be his very first trip walking into Walt Disney World. So we will be seeing it through his eyes for the very first time, which is just so special to me. And I honestly just cannot wait. Me and Tim did have the incredible opportunity last year of visiting Disneyland, California, which was so special to be able to go to like the very first park that opened at Disney and kind of throw ourselves into the Disney experience bubble. And yeah, as soon as we did that trip, we were like, let's go to Walt Disney World now, because it's a completely different experience going as a couple than it is going as a family when you were younger in your childhood. And I didn't know if it would feel exactly the same, but honestly, it was completely so magical, and I literally just cannot wait to throw myself into the happiest place on earth because it really is that, and also to see it through Tim's eyes for the very first time. Today for me, my choice of beverage for this video is an iced vanilla matcha. This is your sign to grab yourself a drink if you haven't already, because we are about to dive all on into all and everything Walt Disney World. From the plans that we have for the trip, the hotel that we're staying at, our flight details, when we're going on the trip, any reservations that we may have made, the itinerary that we literally drafted up yesterday, so that's fresh and ready to rock and roll, and also the bucket list of things that we'd really like to do, see, and eat over there when we're in Disney. So yeah, let's get right on into this video. So our Walt Disney World trip will officially begin at the end of October. So officially this month, we are going to Walt Disney World, which is crazy to even say. I literally feel like I've been counting down for this holiday for years. And it was last year that we booked it, but it's felt like the longest time. And I think anybody that books a Walt Disney World trip, especially when they've not been in such a long time, it feels like forever, like literally forever. And here we are on the official under 30-day countdown to Walt Disney World. But we are going for 11 nights and 12 days, and we'll be flying with Virgin Atlantic, which I'm so excited about because I've seen, I don't know how recent it's been, but on the most recent vlogs, I've seen that they do this afternoon tea in the sky. So they literally do scone, jam and cream on a flight to Walt Disney World, which just sounds like a dream, to be quite honest. Like, that just sounds magical in itself before I've even stepped into like the most magical place on earth. Like, so we're going to experience the full scone in the sky on the aeroplane from London Heathrow with Virgin Atlantic all the way to Tampa in Florida. So we've actually chose Tampa instead of MCO, which is the Orlando International Airport this time, because of the cost. Actually, it was so much cheaper for us. Like, it was almost like $1,000 each cheaper to fly into Tampa than it was to fly into Orlando International for this particular date that we were flying out. So I don't know how and why that was, but yeah, it was so much cheaper for us to fly to Tampa. So this will be our very first experience heading into Tampa. Now, all the vlogs that I have seen of people going to Tampa, it all seems really smooth sailing and like no sort of problems. So I think we'll be absolutely fine. I am, however, completely disappointed that we'll not be stepping foot onto the iconic Walt Disney World green carpet in the airport. If you know, you know. That green carpet is famous, and it will be the very first time that I go to Walt Disney World without stepping foot on the green carpet. And I really feel like the green carpet highlights officially that you're there. So it's going to be a very different experience. And when I've looked at the vlogs at Tampa Airport, they have a blooming flamingo. So that's going to be my iconic I've stepped into Walt Disney World moment. So how magical. Hopefully he's got some Disney ears on. And really strangely, we actually are flying separately to my family. So it'll be me, Tim and my brother on this Virgin Atlantic flight going to Tampa, and my mum and dad on this Virgin Atlantic flight the day after us flying to Orlando International. So they'll be setting foot onto the green carpet and experiencing that. Whereas we'll be with Mr. Flamingo Man at Tampa. But the reason we're flying separately and on different days is because my mum and dad had this trip booked to Florida, just the two of them as a duo, for over like 3 years, and they kept postponing it because of COVID and multiple other reasons, and I didn't want them to postpone it again. I think this was the final year that they couldn't postpone the holiday, and I said, let's all go together. And because they already had their flights and holiday details booked for their particular trip, we kind of just had to like jump on and join them for the experience. So that is why we've had to book our flights separately. So I do think if we had booked our flights a long time ago with them, they would have been a lot cheaper, but it's how it's worked, and we'll still all get there safely and still be on the same trip together and having the most amazing and special time. So yeah, I just wanted to explain that because you will see in the vlogs that are upcoming for this trip, my mum and dad won't be on the flight and you'll be like, where are they? But they're on a completely separate flight, so yeah. Fun times. Now, I'm so excited to share the hotel that we're staying at for our Walt Disney World trip, and I really feel like this hotel that we found is a complete hidden gem because I have heard nobody speak about this hotel, but it is a really good price and it's in a really good proximity to all the parks. Now, in terms of hotel, I actually found this part of the booking process for Walt Disney World the most overwhelming. I just feel like you're surrounded by so many hotels. You've got 3 different tiers of hotels, to be quite honest, with Walt Disney World. You've got the deluxe, luxury, splurge, spenny hotels on the boardwalk, for example, that are really expensive. You've got the moderate hotels that are like good value, still within the Disney magic if you want that, like on Disney property as well within this criteria. And then you've also got the budget friendly hotels that are really good price and you're probably off Disney property but are still really good value. So yeah, I do feel like there are 3 tiers to the hotels, and I couldn't decide what tier to throw myself into for this trip because I felt like it might be a really long time until we go back here again, especially as a full family. And yeah, I just found it really overwhelming, and I do think booking Disney trips as a whole can be really overwhelming, to be quite honest. But yeah, the hotel for me was definitely the most overwhelming part. But we have found a really good hotel and I cannot wait to share with you where we're going. So we are going to be staying at the Caribe Royale Hotel. We're staying in a king suite. So we've actually got like a main bedroom, a guest room, I'd say like a sofa room, like a living room lounge sort of area. And then we've also got the bathroom in the middle. So we've almost got 2 rooms and a bathroom, which I think is amazing. And it was really hard to find a good, reasonable price hotel that was in good proximity to the parks, that we didn't want to splurge and spend maybe on like the Disney hotels or anything like that this time. So yeah, this is going to be a test for us, a bit of a trial and error to see how we find this hotel and sort of how we get on with it. But yeah, we're staying at the Caribe Royale Hotel. Now, I actually wrote down on my notes that the Caribe Royale Hotel is about 8 to 15 minutes drive from all the Disney parks and also about 15 to 20 minutes from the Universal Park. So we've almost found like a hotel that's smack bang in the middle off Disney property, but you've got good, reasonable distance between the two. So you haven't really got like a lot of travel between them. So I personally think it's really good. Also, for this particular trip, in terms of like transportation, we actually opted out of going for like a car rental this time, because my mum and dad have actually got a car that they've hired out for the trip. So we decided to opt out of having like a secondary car and just kind of all jump into one car to save on the fuel or the paying for the Ubers or anything like that. But we do actually have with our hotel the free Disney shuttles that take you to and from the 4 Disney parks, which is just incredible. And that was also like another additional bonus that made us like kind of go, yes, that's the right hotel for us. It's a good price, it's within good proximity to all the parks, and we've also now got a free shuttle bus to the 4 Disney parks, so it's a win-win. It also takes you to Disney Springs as well, and I think that Disney Springs is actually close to the hotel. It's like a 5 to 8 minute drive or something like that, so yeah, really close proximity. So yeah, we were really happy with the hotel, really happy with the room. It looks beautiful, the pools look good, you've got a hot tub, you've got a stadium like bar thing there. It's really cool, and I literally just cannot wait to see it with my own eyes now. So in terms of the parks that we're visiting, we are going to visit all 4 of the Disney parks. So we're going to go to Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios and Epcot, and we are also visiting all of the Universal parks as well. So we're going to go to Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, and we're going to the brand new Epic Universe, which I'm so beyond excited for. Like, yeah, it's going to be so amazing to be able to go to a brand new park in that first year that it's opening. And I've heard so many incredible things about this brand new Epic Universe park. Like, the animatronics there look so lifelike and real. It's unbelievable, so I cannot wait to go there and visit. So yeah, we've got a really busy, full-on, jam-packed holiday, to be quite honest, but it's going to be so amazing. Alongside the 4 Disney parks and the 3 Universal parks, we are also squeezing in a water park in between our itinerary somewhere here, because we just kind of think a rest day is really important, especially on a really busy and jam-packed holiday where your day is starting from like 8:30 in the morning right through to like 10, 11 at night. They're really long, busy days and just full-on days. So we kind of said, let's throw in a water park. Now, usually when we do a Walt Disney World trip, like especially when we were younger, we did a lot more water park days in between, and we did a little bit like of a longer holiday than 11 nights. We'd do like 2 weeks, for example. I know it's like a few extra days, but those few extra days are so handy when it comes to a really busy trip, especially when you have younger children. So I think that's why my parents did it. But this trip, because we have got a shorter amount of time that we're there, we have only got space for 1 water park day. So we're going to throw it right on into the middle of the itinerary. And it was really hard coming to like terms of what water park we wanted to do, because as a child, we spent a lot of our time at Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon. And as a family as well, we were kind of like, I don't know what we should do. Like, they're all so nostalgic. And also we visited Aquatica before in the past, which I don't see many people go to anymore, but that was definitely up there as one of my favourite water parks. But yeah, we're actually going to Volcano Bay this time. We're going to do it just after we've done some of the Universal parks and then go to the water park. So yeah, we're going to throw in Volcano Bay because I just think it's like the most up-to-date modern water park in my opinion. I love the tapu tapu bands that you wear at the water park. That was definitely a feature that I remember from my childhood. So yeah, I can't wait to revisit Volcano Bay. And I just think some of like the water rides there are a bit more like adulty and just a bit more up our street. So yeah, that is the water park that we've chosen. And also alongside that, we are also going to Disney Springs as well, which I didn't mention, but we'll probably be doing that like around the days at the park. So we'll probably go to the park in the day and maybe do Disney Springs for a couple of hours in the evening, and then definitely on our travel home day we'll do like a full Disney Springs kind of day before we come home, because Disney Springs now to what it was when I went as a child is completely different. It is so much bigger. There's just so much more there that I feel like you need a lot more time than probably what we spaced in back in the day. Now, when we last went to Disney Springs, it was actually called Downtown Disney, which shows how long ago that we went to Walt Disney World, and it was completely on a full different scale. Like, it wasn't as large as it is now. Like, so yeah, I'm really excited to throw myself into Disney Springs and kind of have like a full day there. So we'll definitely be doing that before we travel back home. Now, because our trip falls at the end of October, it means that our holiday is actually going to be during Halloween. So of course, Disney and Universal go all out for the events of the year and the occasions, especially Halloween. So we are planning to do Halloween Horror Nights. Not me personally, the boys are opting in for Halloween Horror Nights. Me and my mum opted out. We were kind of sat there umming and ahhing between Halloween Horror Nights or going to the Florida Mall, and we were like, Florida Mall. So I'm really sorry to disappoint you guys, but you'll not be getting my reaction of Halloween Horror Nights because I just don't think I could do it. I'll be completely honest. I would be absolutely terrified. I don't think I would find it fun at all. I'd probably cry. So yeah, the boys are doing Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios for the very first time. So I'm gonna get Tim to take my vlogging camera along for Halloween Horror Nights. So you can see Tim, my younger brother, and my dad throw themselves into the most scariest experience at Universal. And we all know Universal go all out for Halloween. So, and if you haven't seen any videos for Halloween Horror Nights, please look at them because they look horrendous. They look so scary. And in terms of like all the other events around Halloween, we'll probably throw ourselves into a few of them. I don't know whether I want to do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, maybe like near the time or something like that. But I'm going to have a little look into those details and maybe see what people recommend and what they don't. So if you have been to Walt Disney World or are also planning your trip as well, please let me know in the comments sort of what you'd recommend and whether things are worth it or not. So yeah. So last night was a really exciting night. Me and Minnie Mickey went to my family home with Tim, and we basically sat down around the table as a huge family with an old school pen and paper, and we basically threw down all our ideas for this holiday and basically built up like an itinerary for the holiday, which does sound really robotic, but when it comes to Walt Disney World, I would personally recommend doing that before you go because it can be really overwhelming and it does feel a bit more structured when you have got like ideas of what parks you want to go on what particular days. And also when we looked on the Walt Disney World app, there were actually a few days that we'd put in the parks for that particular day where there were special events on and the park was actually closing early. So if it wasn't for us looking for that in advance, like now, we'd have still gone to the park and then been like, oh, we can't watch the fireworks tonight. Now we're gonna have to go back another night and change all the itinerary around when you're there. Obviously it's not gonna be like fully set in stone, but it is always worth just doing something before you go, like a little bit of a structure to know what things and what parks you're going to on what particular days. And of course, obviously we were working around Halloween Horror Nights this time as well. So we've had to kind of split our Disney parks up, which is such a shame because I usually like to do all the Disney parks in one, like one big gulp, and then throw myself into Universal and then have like a couple of spare days where we go to like water parks or like other things in between. But this time we've got to kind of split them because Halloween is thrown right on into the middle of our holiday, but that's okay. But yeah, the itinerary night was so fun and I feel really excited now to throw myself into the Disney experience. So yeah. Before I go, I have got a snack bucket list that I have wrote down, which we did last night, of things that we'd like to try when we're in Disney World. And I thought I'd share them on this video because I do know a few of you may be visiting Walt Disney World at some point and may want to try some of these. And of course, if any of you have been recently and recommend anything different or anything more to try, please do let me know in the comments because I would absolutely love to throw myself into as many snacks as possible while we're there because me and Tim have literally been on a diet for like 1.5 years now and I literally just cannot wait to immerse myself into the food over there in America. We're so excited. So on my snack bucket list, I have got written down Dole Whip. I will happily sit here and admit that I have never in my lifetime of visiting America ever tried a Dole Whip before, so I really want to try one on this vacation. And I've actually specifically wrote the one from Aloha Isle in Magic Kingdom. I'd really like to try that one because that one looks incredible. I've also got the loaded popcorn from Main Street in Magic Kingdom. If you haven't seen the loaded popcorn from America, from Disney World, please watch it. It is basically a whole, I would say bucket, to be quite honest, of popcorn loaded with everything that you could possibly think of. Chocolate sauce, caramel sauce, M&Ms, Maltesers, like literally everything chocolatey goodness in a popcorn bucket. So yeah, I'd really like to try that down Main Street. I've also wrote down the Totchos, which are tater tot nachos at Woody's Lunchbox at Hollywood Studios. I've got the Mickey beignets, which me and Tim are so excited to try. Like that was one of the first things that we wrote down that we've seen so many people go to. And the beignets are actually at Port Orleans French Quarter, so it's actually on the boardwalk, so it's outside of the parks. So we'll probably, when we go to Epcot, probably take a walk down to the boardwalk and have a try of the beignets, which I'm so excited for. They basically come loaded with icing sugar and then you get like a pot of chocolate sauce or caramel sauce. So yeah, we literally cannot wait to try them. I've also wrote down the Gideon's Bakehouse cookies, which I've seen people queue outside of this place for hours. So if there is an hour-long queue, I don't think I'll be waiting for it. But if I do get a really good day where there is a short queue. I'd really like to try the cookies from there at Disney Springs because they do look amazing. Joffrey's coffee is next on my list. It may sound really simple, but yeah, I've seen loads of people having the Joffrey's coffee out there alongside obviously the Starbucks. We don't have Joffrey's over here in the UK, so I would like to really try their coffee and see what that's like. And if they do matcha, that's even better, to be honest, 10 out of 10. And then I've also wrote down the Spyron Caf, I think it's pronounced, which is basically a cold brew coffee with sweet cream, cheese foam, and chocolate cereal puffs from Star Wars Galaxy Edge at Hollywood Studios. Now, I've seen so many people drink this drink and it looks amazing. As much as I'm not really a coffee girly anymore, this has particularly taken my fancy. And it is basically just a coffee, like an iced coffee with cold foam, but it's cream cheese, like sweetened cream cheese. Sounds horrendous, but it looks so good. And then it's basically got like cereal cocoa puffs on the top and it looks so good. So I literally cannot wait to try that. And that is also on my list as well. So yeah, I would love to hear if there are any other snacks on your list that you've been to Walt Disney World before, or any things that you've seen that you'd particularly like me to try. I'd love to know if there's anything like that. But yeah, in terms of the Walt Disney World vlogs, I will literally be doing a 12-day vlog every single day. So I'll be vlogging daily and I'll be uploading every vlog separately. So they'll probably be like an hour to 2 hours long each of the vlogs. And I'll be uploading them twice a week onto my channel once I get back off my trip. I will keep you updated in the weekly vlogs as to when that will be. But yeah, so as soon as I get back off my trip, which should be like the first week of November or second week of November, I will start uploading my Disney World vlogs. So it'll basically be like day 1, Magic Kingdom, day 2, and it'll be like separate vlogs. But because we are now on the run to Christmas, if I was to upload them every week, I would literally be doing the vlogs right through until New Year, and I'd really like to do like Christmas plans onto my YouTube channel as well. So the way that it's worked is that I'll be uploading 2 vlogs a week. So you guys will see 2 vlogs from me of the trip. So it'll be every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Sunday, every Wednesday until all the Disney vlogs are gone and the trip is over, which is really sad to think about. I don't want to think about that right now. But yeah, that is kind of how that will kind of look as a structure wise on the YouTube channel. And of course I will be uploading onto TikTok as well, and those vlogs will most likely go live before the YouTube vlogs do, because obviously they're short form content. So if you did want to see my Walt Disney World day while I'm there, like a live kind of thing, TikTok and Instagram, which I'll put on the screens and link down below, will be your best bet for seeing things live as I'm there kind of thing. And yeah, I'm just so excited to go on this trip. It's going to be so nostalgic, so special, and I really feel so blessed. Like, I know that this is such an expensive and splurgy trip, but it really feels so special to be able to save up and go on something like this with my family. So yeah guys, as always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. If you've made it this far, I'm really grateful for all of you. Your love, kindness and support means the world to me. If you are brand new here and very excited for the Disney vlogs, please press the subscribe button. I'm very excited to have you join our community for the Disney World vlogs that will be commencing very soon. As I said, our trip starts at the end of October, so you'll most likely see the vlogs then or the beginning of November, and we'll see you there. Little Mickey says bye and thanks for joining. Please subscribe, he says. And he's very excited to get his little bags packed to go on his Walt Disney World trip. Bye everyone.